I've been spending the last few weeks trying to think about how to grow my business, going from freelance into making it a real business with that I don't have to do everything myself, so either building it into an agency or just a business that doesn't rely only on me. And I've been learning a lot, and I want to share those learnings with you because I figured out that there's basically two models to grow your business when you're going from freelance into a bigger business. Those two models are a productized service business or a consultancy. I want to kind of share my learnings about the pros and cons and what's the difference between each of them, because that's part of the thinking process that I'm doing right now, trying to figure out which is the right one for me. So let's start with consultancy. If you've seen the video that I did a while ago with Chris Do, this is basically the approach that Chris Do is promoting. And what consultancy means is that you're not coming to your prospect client with a fixed solution. You're diagnosing for a problem. So you're trying to see what they really need. So they maybe came to you saying, I need a logo, but after you're trying to realize what's really stopping their business from growing, you may end up telling them that what they actually need is a new website, just for an example. And the point of that is that you don't only have one prescribed solution. So you can't do only one thing. I make logos, because maybe that's not what your client needs. So in consultancy, you customize your service depending on what your client really needs. And that means that you should have a lot of capabilities, right? You're not a one dog pony or whatever they call it. You can do a lot of things. So either you work with multiple experts or you know how to do versatile things yourself, but you don't have only one capability. And when you're doing that, when you're customizing your service based on your client need, you can also do value pricing, which means that you're not charging for the project, you're charging what the client can afford and what the project is worth to them, which means you can usually charge more because what they value is usually more than hours or the cost for you to actually get the project done. The other type of business is a productized service. In a productized service, what that means is that you're not selling a service, you're selling a package. For example, I'm selling a logo process. That logo process costs $10,000, and here's what you get. So I only do this one type of logo service process. It costs $10,000 for everybody. It's like a packaged service. Basically, this is what Fiverr tried to do. Fiverr tried to productize the service industry, and so it would be really easy for people to buy, because a lot of times when your clients come and discuss freelancers with their service, they're really insecure because they're not sure what they're buying, they're not sure how long it's going to take, they're not sure how much it costs. And when you're productizing it, you're packaging it as something that you can buy off the shelf, it reduces a lot of the stress of the client because they know exactly how much it costs and they know exactly what to expect. And they can see it up front even without discussing this with you. It doesn't take a long, you don't have to send a proposal. You only have one price and one offer. And the good thing about this type of productized business is that you can really get to be super expert in this one process or this one thing that you know how to do. You can hire the people that are best in this. So if you're only doing logos, you can hire the best people who are doing logos. On the contrary, in consultancies, you have to have either people who are generalists, so they know how to do a lot of things, but they're not an expert in one specific thing, or you have to work with multiple experts, so it's a different business model. And when you have a productized business, it's much easier to create a sellable business. So I just read last week a book that's called Built to Sell. Really good book. I recommend you check it out. And it is about how to create a business that can run without you. So you create systems, and you can teach those systems to other people and create a business that is kind of semi-automatic because everybody knows the process. And then this is actually a business that you can sell, because when you are a consultancy, a lot of it depends on you or selling the client what they need. So it's really hard to teach people how to do consultation and how to give so many services. It's much harder to create a business that runs without you that way. And so there are pros and cons in each of them. It's not like one model is better than the other model. again, the bottom line is that the productized service, you can be much more efficient at doing one thing. You can be really fast at doing it. You can be the best at doing this one specific thing, and it creates a brand. This company is super, super good at this one thing. On the other hand, in consultancy, it's much more vague. You don't really know upfront what you're going to sell, how much it's going to cost, because you have to do the discovery phase with your client. And so you might make a lot more money, but you don't really know what skills you need up front, what processes you need up front. It's much more vague. I'm still not sure at this point which is the right model for me. As I share with you, for me, my goal at the moment is not to make more money, but actually to make my business more efficient so I can spend less time working on it. So it might be the case that productized business is the better model for me, but I'm still thinking about this. But I thought it might be helpful for you if I share the findings with you and kind of help you think, because what I realized is that what I've been doing prior to understanding those framework is being somewhere in the middle, where I'm kind of more a consultant, but I'm not really charging pair on value. So I kind of have productized service, but a lot of them, so it's somewhere in the middle. And when you're somewhere in the middle, you're not super good at this or this, it's hard to create a good, sustainable, profitable business. And I think that's the problem with a lot of agencies who start off without deciding which part of the spectrum they're going to end up in. All right, hope you're having a super day. I'll catch you tomorrow.